Judgment has been reserved in the ANC's bid to seek leave to appeal the April 2024 judgment that dismissed with cost its bid to prevent the newly formed uMkhonto weSizwe political party's use of the uMkhonto weSizwe name and logo. The ANC approached the KwaZulu-Natal High Court in Durban, arguing that there are reasonable prospects that another court may reach a different conclusion. The party argues that for as long as the newly formed uMkhonto weSizwe party is allowed to use the name and logo, the infringement continues. If the ANC is successful in its latest bid, it could prevent the MK party from using the name and logo. The MK party, which is now the third largest political party in the country following the 2024 national and provincial elections, vehemently opposed the application, arguing that it was dead on arrival. Well, for more on this story, we cross to our SABC News reporter, Kani Mapanga, who's been following proceedings. She joins us live. A very good afternoon, Kani. Tell us more.
Well, good afternoon to you, Nambu, and to the viewers at home. Indeed, the KwaZulu-Natal High Court Division, sitting in Durban, has reserved judgment in the ANC's bid to seek leave to appeal the April 2024 judgment that dismissed with costs its bid to interdict the newly formed MK party from using the uMkhonto weSizwe name or logo. Now, this can go either ways, rather. You having a situation where they can either be granted leave to appeal, which would mean that they can either go to the SCA and appeal, or you'll have a situation where they are denied leave to appeal, which also grants them the option of going to the SCA to appeal that denial as well. Now, judgment has been reserved, but to recap some of those arguments that we did see earlier this morning. Now, the ANC is saying that they came to the KZN High Court, which is the court of first instance, meaning that this is the court that heard the matter and decided on the merits in full, even though it found that the matter was not urgent. Now, remember, when you bring an urgent application in the High Court and the High Court rules that the matter is not urgent, that is the end of the issue. However, for the purposes of appeal and probably in the interest of justice, the High Court decided to deal with the merits in full and all the grounds of appeal. So we have the full reasons and facts as to why the ANC failed to succeed in their application to try and interdict the uMkhonto weSizwe political party from using that name and logo. So now they've argued before the court that this issue goes beyond the 2024 national and provincial elections, stating that for as long as this political party, this newly formed political party that is now the third biggest political party in the country, is allowed to use that name and logo, they benefit from that goodwill, rather, and that infringement continues until the interdictory relief that they seek is granted by a court if they are successful. So they're asking the court to grant them this leave to appeal, arguing that there may be another court that will come to a different conclusion. Of course, the MK party is vehemently opposing this bid, saying that this is not the test for leave to appeal, and that the court has fully decided on these issues in the interest of justice, but rather that because the matter was dismissed based on urgency alone, that is the end of the matter, arguing that if the MK party, or rather the ANC, seeks to bring new facts into this issue of uMkhonto weSizwe, then they have to launch a new application. But as far as this bid goes, the MK party is vehemently opposing it, saying that this is the end of the matter. We know what the association of the uMkhonto weSizwe brand or name, if you could term it that way, carries. That is the now disbanded former military wing of the ANC. We know the role it played in the liberation struggle and the constitutional democracy that we enjoy today. So South Africans are familiar with what uMkhonto weSizwe is. And the central question that will now be placed before the court when it decides on this leave to appeal, or if this infringement continues, is that does this goodwill that is associated to the uMkhonto weSizwe name and logo, the brand that is uMkhonto weSizwe, is it owned by the ANC? Is it associated to the ANC? Then the next question will flow from that, if the answer is yes, is that if you look at the newly formed political party, are they unduly appropriating or benefiting from the use of that uMkhonto weSizwe name and logo? If the court comes to the conclusion that that is the case, it is the ANC's argument that they should be granted leave to appeal in this matter so that they can vindicate or safeguard, rather, the legacy of uMkhonto weSizwe, which they argue is strongly owned and associated to the African National Congress.
All right, we'll wait and see what transpires. Thanks very much for that report there, my colleague Kani Mapanga.